what's happening with me in Trinidad. First and foremost, let me welcome you to my new channel. It is Chris Must List Raw, real and raw. It's a daily diary of my life as I travel around the world. This is the Raw channel. I got a main channel, Chris Must List, but this is the Raw channel, the daily diary type shit. I got Tristan in the back.
What's up, guys?
What's your channel?
Tris Must List.
So
Check me out.
I'm Chris Must List. He's Tris.
Christmasless and Christmasless. Following your father footsteps, yeah?
Must List. Check him out. We're about to start our day, but first and foremost, let me
Let's hear
get something off my chest. Look, I've been on YouTube for about 4 years, and some people have considered me a controversial YouTuber, and I don't know why, right? I lack the element of fear. Like I'm not afraid of things, so it gets me into predicaments and locations that the average YouTuber might not want to get themselves into, if that makes sense. I'm gonna keep this real and raw, very little editing. Just over a year ago, I went to Trinidad and Tobago for the first time. I knew no one. I didn't know anything about Trinidad music. I didn't know the artists. I didn't know anything, right? There was one gentleman I spoke to. His name is Johnny. We'll leave it at that. We'll get
Johnny
into
Bravo.
Johnny a little bit more along the way. Johnny Bravo, that is. So Johnny Bravo and I spoke a few times on Instagram. Talked about what to sort of expect. That's it. He's a bodyguard for celebrities. And if you watch my content, you'll see I don't use bodyguards. So my intention was never to use a bodyguard. I went to Trinidad for the first time. Beautiful country. I love it. I can't wait to get back. Hopefully one day I can get back.
Yeah.
On my day one, I had no plans, so I simply walked the streets talking to people with my camera. I want to find out like what's the lay of the land. I want to see downtown. I really didn't even know how to get into the city. It was all brand new for me. But I got down there, and after about 6 to 8 hours of walking around, I hit an area that's notorious for gangs. Went in, interviewed some of the so-called gang members. I can't confirm nor deny.
Okay, so you went exploring Trinidad. You stumbled in an area notorious for gang. Okay.
um, what their role in the gang was. But I heard a lot of negativity off camera. You know, a lot of people saying, Chris, this is a dangerous place. Be careful. Even the kids in the video were saying, like, Chris, don't go here or don't go there. Just stay, in the safe zone. But my content is exploring. So I upload the video. It does well. A lot of people watch the video. Day two comes, and I
I walked into the wrong hood in Trinidad. Okay, this look like Duncan Street or something.
started hearing a little bit more. People know I'm in town, and I'm a fairly popular YouTuber. My channel at the time probably had around 500,000 subscribers. So different hoods start reaching out to me,
Okay, so now if you're exploring Port of Spain, I can understand how you could bounce up in fucking Duncan Street, right?
saying, Chris, come to my hood. Let me show you a side of Trinidad that no one else is going to see. And I started learning about local artists, K-Man 6, Plumpy Boss, um, Prince Swanee, who was out of the country at the time, Boy Boy, just to name a few. Um, and then my mission became like, let me go see every single one of the most dangerous hoods, period. And I did. I met Bangum Smurf, formerly of G Unit. He was exported back to Trinidad and living into Trinidad. I met him. We got along very well. And I documented day to day life in all these various hoods. The type of hoods that normal Trinities are not going into these hoods. And I went with my camera and I asked questions like, how do we bring peace to your community?
The places that this man have gone in Trinidad, I'm telling you. You ain't seeing me.
Because most don't know this, but Trinidad has one of the highest murder rates in the world. They called a state of emergency after I left because they cannot control the violence. And what I noticed on the news was like the violence
Let me tell you something. They can't control the violence. They choose not to. And it's so easy to solve. But crime does pay in Trinidad, you know. Crime does pay in Trinidad, you know. The government makes a lot of money off of it. They do the crime, they get the bail, they back out, do the crime again, they get bail, they back out, and that's how it goes.
It wasn't just young men. It wasn't just gang members. It was home invasions. It was girls because they dated a guy that might have been in a gang. It was grandmas being attacked.
Hmm.
And it was children being killed in drive-bys. So it's not like there was no rules to this. I'm accustomed when I deal with gangs that there's rules. You know, a man that's in a gang shoots a man that's in a gang. But Trinidad had a different set of rules. So I filmed the content in the hoods. But not only that, I also, I wanted to see more of the country. So I filmed a video, for example, on the beach. What do the beaches of Trinidad look like? There's no mention of gangs. I actually got quite intoxicated that day and enjoyed myself. I also went to Carnival. I had a great time. We partied all night. TJ and I, and the party started at like 3 in the morning. Forgive me, I can't think of the name of the party, but it went all day, and everybody loved me, and everybody in Trinidad treats me with so much respect. So I don't want to make it look like I was only shooting gangs. I wasn't. You can look at my content on my main channel now. I got a lot of content. I even, for example, interviewed the police chief as part of my content. But when I
Alexander.
was there for 2 weeks, I started getting like a little. How do I put this? Like, I was hearing stuff, gossip about myself, about like, Chris, be careful, the police are gonna come after you. So I just went about my business. I'm like,
And that's how like it is in Trinidad, right? Like this guy shouldn't even have known the police was on to him. But imagine people on the street telling them the police are on to. That's because like the police and they talk like real brethren, like um yeah, but our customer says we watching it, we look into the RP update. That's how they do it. Like
what are they gonna come
they're not
after
very
me for? I'm
smart.
not doing anything. I'm documenting reality, right? So then what happens, and I don't even know if I should be telling you all this. This is an open case. I'm still right now going against very major charges. I'm out on bail and I'm facing 2 years in jail, but I'm an honest person. This is a raw channel. I got to remain honest with you. So I got a phone call from somebody. Don't know how they got my phone number. It's a local phone number I had. And they're like, this is the police. We want to talk to you. And I'm like, look, before I talk to you, I'll get back to you. Basically, I went to the Canadian embassy. I didn't tell them that, and I
What
just
did they
wanted to
do?
talk to them. I'm like, what are my rights here? Why would the police want to talk to me? What did I do wrong? I didn't commit any crime. If you watch my videos, even in the worst hoods, the type of questions I'm asking are like, how do we bring peace to your beautiful country? Right? Like, I'm asking because I want to know. I love Trinidad and Tobago, and I want to bring peace. And am I the guy that's going to bring peace? No, probably not. But hopefully, through the videos that I'm creating, that nobody else in the world has.
To bring peace in Trinidad, get rid of all the leaders out there now. They need to like retire. New people with new ideas, younger people with better ideas need to come in. Someone like in the early 40s needs to come in.
Ever created where I
Too much old people from like in the 80s and the 70s. Not even 80s. That's still young. People like from the 60s and early 70s and like even the 50s. They wanna be in like politics and I think that's why places like like China are like so developed and like I think the government they allows the young people to like come up with the ideas and create new things and even like fund it, like fund things to like elevate the country, like with tech and all of that. These people, I don't know. I don't talk on politics and all of that, but like Trinidad needs some new elevation, new ideas, you know. How are you, bro? What's going on, Jungle Diff? Jungle Diff. Oh, you play League? Jungle Diff, that's crazy.
went into the most dangerous hoods, one after the next, met like the biggest artists, and I met the biggest gangsters, and my questioning was always the same: how do we bring
I saw this video, and what shocked me in this video is like they were talking about like where they get the tools. Is this video about Muslims? No, it's not about Muslims. What happened is like they was talking literally where they get the tools, and like the government, oh y'all need to check these ports. You all need to check these customs people. Check these ports, blood. Oh shit, yeah, you're not doing that. Well, see.
peace to your community?
They love it that way. They love Trinidad the way it is.
So the police, um,
Because it doesn't affect them because gangs will need to attack people in the gang and do little house break-ins and little robbery, little car thief. But like they don't go after these politician families and these big people. It's just the people just like them on their level. They attack you and people do house break-ins and robberies and it's about survival. I just think that's a right way to survive. They should be held accountable and be in prison or whatever. But like if the police would do their jobs properly, if the government will look into some of these officers as well and they will do the right thing for the country and for the nation because like right now our tourists is real low. Carnival is getting worse. It's not growing. It's going downwards. Everybody is going to other Caribbean countries. And then there's a US crisis in Trinidad. So what are you all talking about?
somehow or another showed up at the Canadian Embassy when I was there. Plainclothes officers showed up. I didn't tell them I was going. How did they know? Maybe the Canadian Embassy tipped them off. How else would they know?
Look at the places this guy going. Sea lots, Lahakita, Down Country. Like what the fuck? Bro, I don't even like driving on Beta Highway.
I left the embassy. Basically, the Canadian Embassy's like, get out of the country right away. And at that time, it was like
You should have done that. You should have fucking listened to your embassy. How many time you heard police was on to you, you should have booked a ticket like for the next morning and get out. That's what you should have done. If I go into a country, right, and I did something, it didn't break any laws, it wasn't doing anything wrong. But as soon as I hear the police is on to me, I'm fucking out. I'm gone. Dusted. You know? And then I would have like get some people to like or talk to somebody to like investigate or talk to some police or talk to whoever to find out like why were they on to me and what was the issue and maybe you could have solved it. I would have been gone. I'd have been out of there.
evening. They really shook me. I was a little frightened, but I'm like, where can I go? It's not like I can just jump on a boat or like charter a plane. I gotta wait until tomorrow to book a flight. And when I left that day, there was two officers in plain clothes
Oh.
right outside
Oh, he got
the
murked.
embassy. Like,
Oh, he got murked. They followed him to the embassy, wait till he comes out, and then the man got the. Let's see how let's listen.
they walked up to me. They're like, "Hey, I like your channel." I thought it was just a fan wanted to take a picture.
Oh,
They're like, "We're undercover officers,
all right.
and we got questions for you about the videos you were shooting." And based on the recommendations I got by the embassy, I committed no crime, so I really have no reason to talk. As a person that documented, I do not, I didn't do anything wrong. I just simply filmed reality. The same reality that the government of Trinidad could not get to because they didn't care, right? So anyway, they came to me. They're like, "Would you like to come in for questioning?" I'm like, "Am I under arrest?" They said no. I said no. I don't want to go in for questioning. I went back to my Airbnb as if everything were normal. I slept through the night. In the morning, bang, bang, bang. I don't know, 2 in the
Oh,
morning.
they didn't.
SWAT.
They did him that thing. They violated this brother. The Trinidad police violated this brother cause it's not funny, but like they could have just arrested bro at the embassy. They wait till bro went to bed. That's what they do. They love to do that. Like I said, a seed dig. Like why all wasting? You know what you know what those they could have gone on like a raid or some special operation. It could have taken two police officers to do that. You know, two or three police officers to do that. Why you all swatted the man? Oh my god,
Guns out, and they raided my Airbnb. They took my cameras. They took me. And
bro, bro, that is wrong. That is wrong. The officers present the case to the court. Go get the warrant. Two police officers could have came. We have a warrant for you, sir. You'll have to come with us. Simple. Take the equipments, wherever, carry it to the station, do all the investigation. Y'all did not need to swat the guy. He's a tourist. Y'all are embarrassing. Y'all didn't need to do that. That is insane. You know how this looks when other tourists looks at this shit? You know how that look? Do you know how this looks? Oh, some people are gonna just sit around and be like, laughing normal, you know? But bro, this is serious.
when you take my cameras, there's nothing on it. Like when I meet somebody on the street, let's say even they have a gun, no matter what the country is, I'm not taking their information. Like, hey, can you give me your name and your address and your phone number? And I don't do that. Don't be ridiculous. And the video footage that they took from my memory card was exactly the footage that I uploaded.
Hmm.
Right? So they brought me in for questioning, right? And the group of charges they gave me were like promoting a gang and participating in a gang. There's like three or four bullshit charges.
Promoting a gang. Promoting gang. Bro, people go on live and promote gang every day in Trinidad. People be at party doing all the and all of that and singing songs. Even in schools. What are you talking about?
That were just simply ridiculous. They had to drop the charges after a day or two of questioning, and I was held in a police station. They realized they couldn't get me on these charges. Then they hit me with a harder charge, something called sedition.
Hmm.
Now, sedition in very basic, raw terms is like they're saying I went to Trinidad to sort of topple the government, to create like so much chaos in the city that the government gets overturned.
Christmas is trying to overturn the government, overthrow the government, trouble the government. A Trinidadian did that. You all really think this guy gonna do that? Or could do that? Mm. 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 I real sad for my country, you know. I real feeling it for Trinidad, to tell you the honest truth. Like, it's a real saddening, sickening thing to see. I mean, like, all they could have told brother is like, hey, yo, like, while they here, I know, while they here, like, we ain't like the image they give in the country, like, he's up on the gang videos, or just, like, take it on or something. Like, that's all y'all could have do. I mean, you let's go back to his country and upload it, but, like, what you could do from there on, but, like, y'all could be like, hey, we ain't like how you're promoting things here, like, you know, like, you're not to film. He's up on the gang. Well, that's all y'all could have done. Like, tell him don't film. Like, if you didn't want to that part, but y'all really think the guy was promoting. Like, did y'all even watch the videos? Did y'all, hey, what's up? Did y'all even watch the videos to see the guy was talking about, like, why when they do anything, like, why it is so here, like, you all need to bring peace here and live in unity. Like, the guy was talking cool. Now, me, I not really business, but, like, sedition, really? Are they really feeling man trying to overthrow the country? Really? Are they wasting government money on this case or whatever for this? One of they could have sent me tell the guy, hey, we want that flaming gang thing here. You're looking too, making the place look a little too bad, and looking like you come here for that. Don't film them thing and upload it no more. Simple. What y'all can just do that.
Imagine me, as a simple man, that you can check my resume. I've been to many countries, 135.
I see I see people or like YouTubers, like American YouTubers and thing, like they go all over the world filming all these countries and uploading it to YouTube. They go to India, they go to all these places in the Middle East where it have like wars and shit going on, and they film it and upload it to YouTube. But we, a small little island with some little petty crime going on, or they feel like this short stumpy little guy with some fat fingers going and take over Trinidad government by himself. By himself? Who even write up this shit?
Countries. Now I'm in Canada, showing the drug and homeless and violent problem in Winnipeg. Am I?
So me know if I go in an area and say, oh yeah, this area in Trinidad real bad. The men have gone outside, men is could do real crime and thing and rob people and thing here. I try to overthrow the government then. That's what they're telling me. I try to overthrow the government then. It make sense.
Trying to topple the government? No. I'm trying to acknowledge a problem and simply document it. I have no, like, I don't even know the name of the politicians in Trinidad. So to accuse me of sedition is what the charge they gave me. Sedition is a very serious charge. You can face 2 to 5 years in jail. And then I believe
You could face 2 to 5 years for trying to overthrow the government. Partners die lifetime in imprisonment. You try to overthrow the government. So you trying to tell me Christmas looks and the gang trying to overtake the government? With the army and air guard and wallet and coast guard and the police, what they paying them for? What they paying them for?
in Trinidad nobody has ever been charged with sedition. So they hit me with some very hard charges. Now my thoughts, and again, I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about this. They're upset and they were embarrassed that I was able to go into these communities.
Yeah.
A lot of them that had violence and crime and murder and guns and document and have a real conversation with these people. They're not able to do that. They're not respected enough to do that. So what happens is they put me in jail. Right? I think it's like a slap on the hand, like Chris, don't do that again. That's what I thought, but it's much more than that.
I thought so too.
Lock me in jail and throw away the key. Guys, I'm just giving you a little background story as to what happened a year ago so you can understand.
So let me get it straight. So you're not in China no more, right? So let's say whoever you're doing the case, or like is he coming back to Trinidad or like doing some virtual case or whatever? I'm guessing whatever. So if he If he's found guilty, what next? You feel Trinidad government could come in Canada and take a Canadian citizen and carry them in Trinidad jail? That could happen.
So I spent a week in a jail cell. You know, 2, 3 people with me, sometimes 4 or 5 or 15. Sometimes it's a guy that robbed, like stole 15 cell phones from a cell phone store. Another time there's somebody that attempted murder. So I mean, we're all grouped together. There was no problems because everybody knew who I was. So during my arrest, Johnny Bravo and TJ, the terrible junior, reached out to a lawyer that they know called CJ Williams. Now
Terrible
CJ came
lawyer.
into the headquarters where I was being detained and said, "Hey, I'm CJ." He had some big white earphones on. He was very loud and obnoxious in my eyes. He's not what a typical lawyer. And I'll get into that deeper because CJ is a very good friend and the best person I could have ever met in my entire life. But at that time, I was nervous. I'm like, I'm facing 2 to 5 years in jail, and this is who they send to help me, CJ. And
He
if
was
anybody that
cooked.
knows CJ, you'll understand. He has a suit on, but with slippers, like colorful socks. So CJ is going to defend me. He seems very smart, but very loud. So the Canadian Embassy is 100% aware of what's going on, and I'm going to keep this video fairly short. Let me get to the point. The Canadian Embassy knows what's going on. They're there because people
Yeah.
ask me, Chris, why didn't Canada help? Well, they're there. They said they can't do anything about it. They can just witness the problem, but they don't want to participate. So they're there. So
What do you mean they can't help you? They're supposed to like send somebody to represent you. I don't know.
like 10 minutes before my bail hearing, I got to meet with the Canadian Embassy, and they'll hate me for even being honest right now. They're like, Chris, we cannot officially tell you to leave your lawyer, but we'll tell you that you should leave your lawyer. You know, Canada says that you should get a better lawyer, and we found somebody better that will represent you free of charge. Okay? And at the time, I was pressured into signing a document, and I couldn't speak to CJ one on one. CJ appears in the bail hearing, and the judge virtually says, "CJ, you've been fired. You're not
Fire
even
CJ Blood.
representing Chris anymore." They gave me some big guy. I'm not going to mention names. It's going to get me in trouble.
They
But
fired
a
CJ.
very big, powerful lawyer in Trinidad said he'll help me free of charge.
Hmm.
We'll get to that after. Not
You
that
sure the lawyers want to? You sure the lawyers want to help him free of charge? Because it's not making no sense.
life is free of charge. So we fired CJ.
Poor CJ.
And at that time, I really didn't know CJ too well, but I still felt bad. He got fired with a piece of paper and a pencil.
CJ Blood.
Now CJ stayed online. It's a virtual, even though I'm being held in custody. The judge it's virtual, like we're on a webcam, a Zoom call. So my new lawyer was able to get me bail, but what he didn't take into consideration, I don't know how, that you need a surety. You need somebody locally, because I'm not from Trinidad, that's willing to sign a document saying I can live with them. So basically, I got bail, and the judge is like, "Well, who's this man gonna live with?" And my lawyer at the time was in England. He's like, "Well, I don't know anybody." CJ jumps in online. It's like, "Well, even though I was fired, I will let Chris stay at my house." And he jumped in and saved the day. And this is after 6 long days in a prison cell. And if you haven't done jail time, you don't realize like 6 days in a prison cell is like eternity. All I wanted to do is get outside and see the sun and fresh air. So I get out on bail, and my only sort of rules are I'm not allowed to leave the country of Trinidad, and I have to reside at CJ's house. Now, the way it works in
Shout out
Trinidad,
to CJ Blood.
they publish the location where you're living. And also, what I didn't mention is the bullshit that happened when I was being held. A newspaper article that came out was like that I was working, the front page, literally the front page of the newspaper, was that I was working with police to identify gang members. Now, they did that to me when I was being held with gang members because they wanted.
You sure there's a joke? Trying to get the man murked? You sure there's a joke? Christmas was working with the police to identify gang members. These people know who the gangs are. They know who they are. Who wrote this shit?
to have me killed. There's that wrote that write up has since died, and because this is
Jesus.
YouTube, I can't tell you how they died, but they
Hmm.
died by self, if that makes sense.
By die by self.
That
What does
may
that
make
mean?
for a big headline, but in
Hmm.
return could have had me really in big problems. I was locked in a room full of gangsters that
Yeah.
were saying I'm working with police, which I never worked with police, and that's the reason I was in jail. Because had they, during the original questioning, if I would have pointed at a few people, said a few little things, then I probably would not be in the predicament I'm in now. So anyway, they
Wow.
take away my passport for 3 months. Say you're not allowed to leave the country. Now, during that 3 months, I was arrested again and again,
Hmm.
held again and again with new charges. Just, it's been a nightmare in my life, right? Instead of
Embarrassing.
me
This man did get his passport, but cannot leave Trinidad and Tobago yet.
being the YouTuber that simply documents reality, I became some controversial YouTuber that's here to destroy Trinidad, which obviously was never my intention. Let, come on, I've done this before. I've gone to so many countries and show the problems in the country, including my own. Doesn't mean I want to topple the government. It's just like that's the story. If you watch Trinidad news at night or read the newspaper, you're gonna read about murder and crime, etc. I didn't do anything different. I never spoke negatively about the government, nor like policies or rules or regulations. Never, because I'm a tourist. That's not
Exactly.
my job. Anyway, I finally got released. It cost me a lot of money to get released.
Hmm.
CJ is like heaven sent. I've lived now almost 47 years. There has never been someone in my life more important to me than CJ. CJ Williams, he's a lawyer. If you're in Trinidad watching this and you need a lawyer, he is the man. He is the best, more than the best to me. What more can I say? So now it's been a year. I always get, because my videos did very well in Trinidad. People will be like, "Chris, come back to Trinidad. We love you in Trinidad." I'm banned from Trinidad.
They
I am
ban him.
banned from Trinidad, and the
Well, of
reason
course
why
he's gonna
is
get
just finding
banned.
out now. I had court on Thursday, 3 days ago, and it's all bullshit. Let me speak frankly. It's bullshit. A complete waste of time. I've appeared on this court
Exactly.
virtually 30 times, and nothing has been done.
You appeared to the court 30 times and nothing has been done. Hmm. The song's familiar, right?
Zero has been done. We have gotten nowhere. So, I mean, if this race is a 10-kilometer race, we've moved an inch.
Hmm.
So now, after a year, a new judge has been called into I don't know, to sit in front of my case because the last judge has been promoted. Now,
A judge who cannot see through a case has been promoted. Okay.
the prosecutor against me
Normal thing.
never prepared, never has the information.
You do fuck all, you get promoted. You do hard work, you get fired.
So, for example, the prosecutor, like trying to get me in jail, will say, "Your Honor, I need one more month to complete said task."
No.
A month goes by, and the judge will be like, "Have you completed the task?" "Oh no, I've been busy." "Okay, let's push it back another month." A month goes by, it's like, "Oh, I had a speaking engagement. I
No.
did not complete the task." So another month goes
This is
by.
a joke.
"Oh, I'm on vacation.
What?
So I did not complete the task." Okay, another month goes by, and it just keeps. This could go on.
Case closed. It's done. You on vacation? You on fucking vacation? Case closed, blood. Case closed. Show off this case. Waste of time. Waste of government funding. You're already doing this shit.
On for years. There's no doubt it will go on for years. New judge came in this
It
week.
doesn't need to go on for years. Pre-session at most. Present it. All they charge this man with something. And you all don't have the file to present to the judge?
Spoke very proper. I appreciated him because he spoke what he thought. He's like, "Guys, I'm new to this case. We did a 1 hour summary." He's like, "This case is a mess."
Mm-hmm. It is.
Let's get this straight. Chris is being charged with a very serious charge of sedition. Now I'm at a point where I can face 2 years in jail. But Chris is not allowed in the country because he's been banned. He's been deported. So they went through a process of deporting me without the prosecutor knowing, which is like unheard of.
Mad thing.
So you want me to face charges in your country, but I'm deported and I can't enter your country, right? Like this is like you don't have to be overly intelligent to understand. Their case against me
It's embarrassing.
is based on 4 words that I can't repeat because what they did is they tried to charge me with all kinds of bullshit. It didn't stick because I'm not a criminal. I committed no crime.
Exactly.
So in one video, when I asked a gang member, how do we bring peace to your community? The gang member said something like a nickname, half the dead. And I won't mention the nickname. Not a person's name, not like John Smith of address 123. They said so and so half the dead. And I published it, not even realizing.
So this is what the government holding him on. Hmm. This is some dodgy shit going on.
What was said. The same person that he mentioned is in like almost every Trinidad song where they talk about killing the guy. And again, taken out of context, it does seem very devilish. But when I asked, how do we bring peace to your community? Now, was everything that I did perfect? No, by no means.
So there's one person responsible for all the crime in Trinidad? Or all the gangs in Trinidad? So it doesn't make any sense. If this person goes, crime not gonna done. It's gonna still continue to have killings and shootings and robbery. It not making no sense.
I embarrassed the government. I was able to do something that no government official could do. Um, period. They're not. Now, look, it's a new government in Trinidad. Maybe things have changed. But at the time, the leadership really took what I did as a personal insult.
Hmm.
They really didn't like me. So I was in and out of jail. I was on the front page of the newspaper many, many times. Just search Chris Mussel's Trinidad. You can read the newspaper or BBC and see the article about sedition. So it's been a year. The new judge that was appointed this week said this is a mess.
Yeah.
This is really, really a mess. It's a very, very prominent case. My case is very prominent. It's all over the news globally. But I haven't talked about it for a year because my lawyer is like, Chris, let's not open a new can of worms. But now it's been a year. The new judge is like, it's a mess. This is a mess, a disgraceful mess. He's like, can you please offer? Let's work.
Let us see a judge.
To trial. And the only offer I got, and the reason for me putting this video together on my diary, they said if I plead guilty to something I'm not guilty of, I am not guilty of, they will drop all charges. I'll have no criminal record. But all I have to do is just plead guilty.
That's a joke. If you have a criminal record in Trinidad for something you didn't do and you can't return to your country, so what? That's not a big deal. You ain't missing out nothing special. You ain't missing out nothing though.
Look, my son is in the background. Where is he over there?
Trinidad can't give you a criminal record.
I would never recommend in a million years for him to plead guilty to something he did not do. Sedition, if you Google it, is very serious. They're saying I came to the country with
Yeah, and that would look bad on him if he split guilty and say, yes, I tried to overtake the government, I am guilty. Bro's probably gonna get banned from countries. He's gonna get banned. Why would he agree to that? That is dumb. Fight your case, brother.
intention to overturn the government. Okay.
That is serious.
Even though this is a thorn in my ass, this is something that's on my mind every day because I love Trinidad and Tobago. I genuinely love Trinidad and Tobago, and I hope one day I can return safely. You know, when I was being arrested the
Don't go
first
back.
time, the same man that have me on charges right now brought me in the side room, like, Chris, the same man, Mr. Lee, said, Chris, I
Hmm.
don't want you. I'm not the one that wants to charge you. I'm on your side. He's like, this higher ups. It's the
Hmm.
people above your pay grade, my pay grade, that want you arrested. Do you understand? He didn't want to arrest me, but he's the signing officer. He knew nothing I did was wrong. He told me he was a fan of my work. But at the time, the prime minister wanted to see me in jail. That same prime minister is playing golf somewhere. He's no longer prime minister. He's in
Holy
jail.
boy. Oh
It's crazy.
God, boy.
It's crazy. Like, from the correctional officers to the one that ran the jail to the police, everybody respected me. They're like, Chris, you should not be here. All you were doing is showing the reality of Trinidad. And I can't tell you how many photos I took with police and military on the week before I went to jail. They're like, Chris, I want to get a picture with you because I respect you, because my family doesn't know how dangerous Trinidad is.
Hmm.
And you're showing them. It makes them like they can acknowledge that my work is hard. So they love me and they respected me. The gangsters love and respect me because they see me going alone, solo, into these hoods, one after the next. You'll see I had no problem with no one because I'm simply documenting reality. Now, at that time, Trinidad's murder rates were sky high, and they continue to be sky high a year later. So I get put into jail because there was like a long weekend after a long weekend and a holiday. I think I spent 6 days the first time in the St. Paul. So if you guys know, like, the sixth gang, St. Paul, at the end of the street, there's a police station. So I was put in with the sixth gang
Hmm.
holding cell. Now, one of the good perks of jail, if that makes sense, in Trinidad is locals can bring you food. And, you know, this, I didn't realize how popular I became in Trinidad. I was at the front page of every newspaper, and I had every restaurant coming and bringing food, not just for me, but for all my cellmates. They just
Wow.
loved the correctional officers, ate with us. And let me say, the correctional officers or the police officers in St. Paul were so respectful of everyone. There was a boy in my cell. I say boy because he was a young boy, crying every night for his mom. He had been charged or arrested for robbing somebody with a knife. And the
Wow.
officers were really, really good to him. Like, they could have just shunned him and like they could have beat him up. They could have done a lot worse, but they were very respectful. So one of the memories I'll always keep of Trinidad is the
I hope when he gets released, he changes life around.
police at that station at that time when I was there were very good and respectful people. So I went up for my first bail hearing, and this is like, no, I've never even told anybody this whole story, but today, right now, I'm going to tell it all. Right? And the leadership now were the same leadership that spoke highly about me and my case. Like, why are we trying to shoot the messenger? Chris didn't come to Trinidad and bring the problems.
Who's saying that?
Chris acknowledged the problems, documented the problems, so we could fix the problems. So the plea right now, they're telling me plead guilty and face
No.
no charges, and I said no. I said, CJ, to the lawyer, what is your recommendation? He said, no, we will never plead guilty to something we did not do. I won't
Exactly.
harm my reputation any further. I have committed no crime in Trinidad and Tobago. I had no ill intent.
Listen. They want this guy to prove guilty to something he wasn't doing, right? You only need to prove to him that he's actually guilty. To say, okay, yes, well, you're all making sense. I'm guilty. You only need to come and say, well, we had messages of you messaging people saying you want to overthrow the government. We had voice recording of you saying this and such. Or we had proof. You need to show the guy his proof, present it to the judge, and then judge will say, okay, you could we will give you the 2 years if you plead not guilty, and you will just be sentenced for 2 years because we have evidence against you. Or you could plead not guilty, you're banned from Trinidad, they can come back, charges break. But we just wanted the media to know that you're guilty and that's what you want to come here for. That don't make no sense. Why would he plead guilty to something he did not do? Because now y'all, bro, that is crazy. I don't. Y'all you all want to win our case without any effort. You all want to just make it seem like you all arresting him was sensible. That's what you all want to seem, right? That what you all do was justifiable. It was wrong. No, if I was him, because from time I hear the police on me, I'm gone. I'm out. I'm dusting blood. But listen, you want the guy to plead guilty, show him the evidence and the statistics that he is actually guilty. Go to the court thing, bring the evidence you all have saying he trying to overthrow the government and prove that he was doing the sedition stuff, and then you all move from there. Either you're gonna say, no, I didn't do that, I'm not guilty. You, y'all could judge him after that, get the jury, do all the thing. The jury will find him guilty or not. And why does not this case even have a jury? Where's the jury? What's going on with the jury? Anyways, we moving on.
Simply
Song's dumb.
did what I
Bullshit.
So right now I am banned. This could take a year, 2 years, 3 years to get to court. No matter what happens, I love Trinidad and Tobago. I ended up facing like 3 or 4 weeks in jail overall, which is not easy. I don't want to be
No.
in jail. I wasn't meant for jail. I'm not committing a crime. Am I perfect? No. Did I commit the crime that they're accusing me of?
No.
Absolutely not. I simply stepped very closely to an unwritten rule not to embarrass a country that I'm in. I love Trinidad. Hopefully one day I can return. I appreciate CJ Williams, my lawyer, the best lawyer in all of Trinidad and Tobago. I will not plead guilty to charges I did not commit. That's my diary today. And I'm going to give you some of my personal opinion because this is my channel. Trinidad and Tobago, you should step up to me and say, Chris, let's work together. You can make an impact on tourism in our country. Because I would love to come back and film all of Trinidad and Tobago and help endorse the country. Bring them back, bring them back, bring them back. Because Trinidad and Tobago is a country that deserves to enjoy tourism and tourism money. So
Exactly.
I know whether it be direct or indirect, the government will see this video. The press, if anybody in the press of Trinidad and Tobago would like an interview, I would loudly and I would speak with all honesty, love to talk about the situation because it's stretched on too long. There are bigger problems in Trinidad than me, so I am open to
Exactly. Like,
send me an email, chrismustlist@gmail.com. Now, for the tourism board in Trinidad and Tobago, let's work together. Bring me back. Let's film and document the better side of Trinidad.
oh, you need to sign, brother. If you coming back, you need to sign some sort of document to say that you're free to pass everywhere, my guy. Because I tell you, they will mock you again. They will tell you this is what they will do. Brother. They will tell you go sleep at this hotel, and they will come in the hotel with guns, and they will shove it in your face, and they will take your camera, and they will fuck you up. Right?
When this all ends and I'm found innocent of my charges, believe you me, it wasn't all for nothing.
You need to sign, if they ever do that, you need to sign something saying that, hey, I'm free to enter on this time and return on and leave on this date, signed by the police commission, signed by the prime minister, signed from the Ministry of Tourism, by the ministry, somebody. I tell you, do not just come back just like that.
That I've put into bail and lawyers, I'm coming back for it. And I think the only reason that Trinidad and
You see, the thing is, right? You see, let me tell you why they want him to plead guilty. It's because if he pleads guilty, they get away with the bullshit. But if he pleads not guilty and win the case, I tell you, that's what I want to say there. I ain't gonna say it. That's what I want to say it. I ain't gonna say it.
the prosecutor's office has not dropped my charges
Let's just say he could S the government. Oh,
yet. is because they know this. They know this. I have a voice, and my voice is loud and clear. I am not guilty of any charge. And when I shout, I'm not just shouting to a few people, I'm shouting to the world. Trinidad, I love you. The charges laid against me are bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecutor for putting efforts against me that they know I did nothing wrong. I think you're not doing your due diligence. Tourism board, I'm ready to work. I love you. Government, past government that put me in jail, I have no respect for you. I broke no rule or no law. This
Right.
is it.
Yeah, no respect for the PNM.
Christmas list from Winnipeg, talking about my current bullshit charges in Trinidad. Guys, good night. Love
Yeah,
you.
that's
Hit
the
that subscribe button,
that
please.
is that is insane.